Can you imagine he stayed on the phone with me for over 5 hours to make sure I got back into my apartment safely while he had just landed in Australia after traveling for over 24 hours? Welcome back to episode 3 of my Hinge to Engage series. So, after our first date, on the Friday, I travelled to Ireland for my friend's wedding, and he had travelled back to Australia on the Saturday. On the Saturday, while he was at the airport, I was getting ready for my friend's wedding. I let him know when I finished getting ready, my dress was on, my makeup was done, I looked good, and I let him know, and he was like, I want to see what you look like. So I sent him a picture, and he was like, no, let's FaceTime. I was like, okay. So we FaceTimed and he was like feeding me all the compliments, ladies. He was just feeding me all the compliments. And he's a Nigerian man, they're good with your words. I was like, okay, cool, thank you, but I gotta go now. Because obviously I had a wedding to get to, so I had to cut it quite short. My friend had a great time. She looked amazing. She married the love of her life, and we all had a great time at the wedding. I then flown back to the UK on the Sunday. On arriving at home, I could not get back into my apartment. Like, I wasn't able to get in. I had to call someone to break the door open. I let him know that I can't get into my apartment and they need to let someone needs to come and break the door open for me. And he had just landed at like 12 midnight his time, and it was like 2 p.m. in the UK. And he was like, okay, give me a minute. I'm going to get my suitcase and I'll FaceTime you and stay on the call with you. And I was like, huh? Anyways, he called me, was like, yep, he's going to stay with me to make sure I get back into the apartment safely. And I was like, you don't need to do that because you obviously just traveled for like 24 hours, so you don't need to. But this man made sure I got back into my apartment safely before he went to sleep. We literally stayed on the phone for about 5, 6 hours. I can't remember exactly how long. But I was like, he made sure, during that time, he made sure I'd eaten, he made sure I had something to drink, he made sure like I was okay, and he kept me company. And it was about 5, 6 o'clock his time before he managed to go to sleep. Not because he couldn't, but because he chose to wait with me on the call. Like, after that, I was not going to let distance stop me from getting to know him.